Oh boy, we get to talk about reparations. Oh yay. All right. Reparations. Good idea, bad idea. Personally, no. Personally, I think it's a bad idea. It creates a slippery road. How does it get instigated? How do you apply it? How do you prove who is the victim of someone of somewhere else? What happens if you run into a black person whose family came from Africa, but they were someone who captured other Africans and sold them to Europeans in Africa because it was the Africans that went out and caught slaves. It was war. They would go to war, and the captors, they would take slaves, which has been something that's been going on for thousands of years. It's in every single culture. It's not a white black thing. It's a human thing. And they would sell them as slaves, or they would keep them as slaves, and that's been going on since the dawn of human time. It's not anything unique to Europeans or America or Europe at all. It's just a human condition. But let's read this. Evanston to use marijuana sales tax proceeds for reparations fund. Up to $700,000 from marijuana sales tax revenue could go towards Evanston's reparations program, and that's $700,000 per year. But they'll explain that later. With recreational marijuana sales in Illinois set to become legal on January 1st, the city of Evanston plans to use sales tax revenue from purchases to help fund a reparations program. The program will focus on helping the city's black community thrive by fighting the effects of slavery and discrimination while also providing job training and other benefits, said Fifth Ward aide Robin Sue Simmons. So who decides what communities they go into, what communities they help? Is it based upon level of black individuals? And then what? Then you breed resentment among what? The brown community and then the white community, and they look and they say, well, why are these people getting these special benefits? I guarantee you some of these benefits are going to be fast tracks into jobs. Usually when they have things, government programs, job training, they also have fast tracks to jobs. And it's going to create resentment. It's going to actually create a divide. That's what I believe. I don't believe reparations. It's past the point. It doesn't make any sense in today's day and age. How do you figure it out? How do you know who came from overseas, who was the expense of it? My God. So what they're going to do, I'm assuming, it doesn't say here, but I'm assuming they're going to pick communities that are the largest black residents, and they're going to put the programs in there. Well, how do you know any of those black residents have ties back to slavery? You don't. You don't. You're just saying, well, they're black, so therefore they're getting these services. And I understand. I don't believe it's a black-white thing. It's a class thing. There are poor black people, there are poor white people, there are rich black people, there are rich white people, there are poor brown people, there are rich brown people. There's rich and poor in every color. It's not a black and white thing, in my opinion. It's a class thing. Let's continue to read. Although recreational marijuana becomes legal statewide on January 1st, it remains unclear when exactly the tax will start being collected. In contrast to Evanston, several other Chicago suburbs have chosen to opt out of recreational marijuana sales. Ald Simmons said the city's fund will help address its wealth gap between black and white residents, which she estimated at $46,000 per year. An average of $500,000 to $700,000 could be generated yearly from the fund and will be capped at $10 million. Again, you're going to have other people on the outside looking in being resentful. They're going to say, well, you got that job training for free. You have a poor black kid who lives in this neighborhood who got the services. You have a poor white kid or a poor brown kid in this neighborhood who didn't get the services. This poor white kid struggles. This poor brown kid struggles. They struggle. They make it. They get through. They get these help. This kid here gets everything handed to them. They get up. They get in the same position. This kid over here is going to resent this kid over here because they had everything handed to them. I think it's going to create a divide. It is well past the time in which reparations should even be thought of. All it's going to do is create resentment. People are going to tear it apart. They're going to say, well, you didn't earn it for that. Come on, I already get it all day long. I'm white. So all day long I get white privilege. And I happen to live in an area that is not predominantly white in my little area. I have gone into stores and been told I couldn't shop there because of the color of my skin, that I need to go up to the heights. Go up to the heights. You don't belong here. Weddle. Huh. Gringo, you don't belong here. You know, I face discrimination. Discrimination is not a sex thing, a race thing. It's a human thing. It's a human condition. Slavery was a human condition. It's not indicative to any one particular people. It's been going on forever. I don't see how this could turn out good, but let's continue reading. Reverend Michael Neighbors, the Evanston NAACP president, said he was pleased with the reparations fund's approval and hoped the money will go toward improving housing, education, and employment for the city's black community. Again, poor areas, yes, let's build those poor areas up, but let's not make it a race thing. Let's not make it a reparations thing. Let's make it, hey, there's a class thing. There are people who are poor who need advantage, whether they're black, brown, white, purple, orange, pink, yellow, blue, I don't care. Yes, let's help them. But let's not make it about race. You're going to cause resentment if you do that. Let's just make it about class. If you're poor, let's get you some help. Continuing. Our children and our young people who are African American can really learn high-tech, high-wage, high-skill jobs that's going to result in them being able to take care of themselves, he said. Simmons said several other cities have inquired about Evanston's reparations program. It'll help improve the black life experience, the black community, the historically black neighborhood, and ultimately that will help strengthen our entire community, she said. A town hall will take place on December 11th for those hoping to learn more information about the details of the program. Again, I only see it breeding resentment. I only see it breeding instances where someone can be claimed that they didn't earn what they had. It was handed to them. I get it. I get it all the time. I'm white, and I get told that my successes were because of virtue of my whiteness. Okay, was it the privileged dumpster that I had to eat out of? Was it the privileged bushes that I had to sleep under in the winter or in the rain? Was it the privileged dirty-faced train I had to hop to travel? Was it the privileged roads that I had to hitchhike down? Was I privileged to almost die of thirst a few times? Was I privileged to live a hard, harsh life? No. It's just a poor, rich thing, that's all. I clawed my way out of it, and people still to this day tell me, well, you only were able to get out of it because of your whiteness. No, I wasn't. I was able to get out of it because of my hard work, because of my heart, and because of my commitment. I would feel bad if someone came up to me and said, hey, would you like reparations? I don't want reparations. I didn't earn it. I didn't earn it. Hell, I was on public assistance, food stamps, and things like that. I got off them early because I want to be self-sufficient. And giving this help to the people is not going to give them confidence. Just because you're black, you're going to get this help. Well, that doesn't make sense. Why not just say, hey, everybody that is of a poorer class, we're going to build up all these people all together. Why do we focus on one? Why do we make race the deciding factor? Anyways, those are just my thoughts. Educate yourselves. Take differing opinions. This is nothing against black, white, nothing like that. This is a class thing, and this is me saying, hey, you're going to create resentment doing this. Can't help but create resentment doing this. But let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, share. No way this video is being monetized, so whatever. It's the news, and it's a slippery slope. Where does it end? If we have reparations here, then what? Do we start taxing white people, brown people, and black people at a different rate on things? I mean, and then aren't they also taxing themselves? Because what are you saying? Black people aren't going to buy pot? Of course they are. Everybody buys pot. I mean, not everybody, but within every demographic. I don't know. This whole thing, it smells like nothing but virtue signaling and look at us, look at us, look at us. We'll see. I don't believe the programs are going to be a rocketing success. They're going to tout themselves as a rocketing success because that's kind of what they have to do. But I believe we're going to find out that it creates resentment. Reparations are just, it's too late. Reparations don't do any good. And who pays the reparations? I mean, how do you figure out who pays reparations? How do you figure out who gets the reparations? I don't know. It's a very convoluted story. It's like an onion. It stinks. No, many layers too. I don't know. All right. You guys have a good one. I'll see you on the next one.